Brenda Bradford from CodeSports.au joins us. Everything's changed now, pal. Tell me about the Warriors. Is this now a team that should as opposed to could?
Yeah, I'm starting to taste it. It's getting so close. I was down there in Wollongong on Friday, and one of the best performances I've seen in the flesh from the Warriors in a number of years. Just a really complete performance. As bad as the Dragons are or were, really positive signs for the Warriors. Sitting in fifth right now, 22 points. It's 2 points off first, but it's a real logjam between first and sort of 12th. There's only about 6 odd points, but fifth on the table, still got a bye to come. People are starting to talk about top four, and it could happen.
Are the Warriors getting this kind of legitimacy in Australia from Australian commentators now?
Yeah, as of the last couple of weeks. The Daily Telegraph today, Buzz Rothfield's got almost a full-page spread talking about how they're the spine is basically rejects from other clubs. Sean Johnson unwanted at the Sharks, Chance from the Raiders, kind of thing, and how Andrew Webster's turned them around. He had got an interview with Webster, calling him the favourite for Dally M Coach of the Year. They're starting to make people sit up and take notice. We've been talking about the turnaround and stuff for a couple of months now, but that's started to get traction now. But certainly, it's definitely finals is at least. Top 6 and maybe even top 4. That's what we're talking about.
Well, I think that, it's great during the season to reset targets. And I think, here am I saying that we weren't going to talk too much about it. But look, I mean, the points you raise are so valid. And it goes from a team that, starts playing well, starts putting in some good defence, starts making the fans feel good, into a team that is now, the expectations are that games like that on Friday night should be won. Previous years and most recent years, that's a game that the Warriors would have gone with high expectations and would have bottled and wouldn't have played well. And there was a time there where St George scored a try early on, and you're thinking, is that a possibility? But hell no. Warriors just up another gear. Physically, they're crushing teams. This is the most impressive thing for me. They are fit, they're strong, they defend like absolute warriors. Yeah, I mean, what is there not to like right now?
Very little not to not like. And like you say, it's the first time I can remember where, it's a really good and well-working spine. The forward pack dominating teams, but they're also pretty mobile as well. The bench comes on and makes a massive difference. Wingers, Devlin scoring we got 4 tries on the weekend. Like, it's all coming together in ways that I honestly can't remember. Like, when Sean Johnson was playing magically, sort of 10 years ago, there were issues with the forward pack, or when there were, some really good forwards, the halves weren't firing. But this feels like the first time in a long time where everything just starting to click. And I think once your performance on the field and once you start getting points and getting wins, then your mentality changes. Then they got more confidence. So, whereas, not that the Dragons sort of made a comeback, but it was sort of 22-12, I think, at the start of the first half on Friday. Teams of the past 5 years, Warriors teams of the past 5 years would have easily succumbed. But these guys just kicked on, and I think, on and off the field, you can actually notice the difference that Andrew Webster's instilled in this team.
CodeSports.au, Brendan Bradford joins us on Mondays to talk league. There is just 4 points separating first from ninth. Then you've got a cluster of teams on 18 points after that. It is the closest competition we have seen in years. And the Warriors' next 4-5 games, all playing teams, points that are around them, very, very close to them. So we're going to know a hell of a lot more in about 2 or 3 weeks' time. Some of the topsy-turvy results from the weekend. There's a Broncos side that plays the Titans, and this Titans side is so goddamn hot and cold. And a dumb Broncos side that, I don't know, they lost their heads, they lost their rag, and epitomised by Reece Walsh. And now this is really serious, and I don't know what's happened from this, but when you call the referee an effing C and a cheat, we've had a precedent set before where players have gone for a skate, they've been sent off. Why did nothing happen with that, and is that going to go now to the judiciary?
So gone sent straight to the tribunal. The judiciary sheet's just come out in the last sort of 20 minutes. Yeah, like you say, we've seen cases in the past. He could easily be rubbed out of Origin 3. He'll miss some game time for sure. There's a bit of social media chat. He put something up. Reece Walsh put something up, and Adam Reynolds also put something up, trying to say that he wasn't talking to the ref. He was talking to a Titan player.
Whatever.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know whether that'll come up or if they've got video evidence to support this. But
the referee thought it was him. The referee turned around to the captain and said he does it again. He's gone, right?
Yeah, well, he should have been gone. If you say that to a ref, you should be gone. Even at that stage of the game, the frustration was building up, and I lost track of how many tries the Broncos were denied in that game. I think it was 4, maybe, from the TMO. But yeah, you just can't do it. And look, and then going off from, he was marched Origin last week for the sort of late match scuffle. It is something that is in his game that I think he'll probably mature out of. He's still only 20, 21, something like that. So, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he's rubbed out for a couple of weeks and might not play Origin 3.
The two teams on a tear at the moment. Let's acknowledge the Eels, 5 in a row. How dangerous an opponent are they now?
Yeah, huge. And they're averaging, over the past month, they're averaging something like 32 points scored a game. And that's after Dylan Brown was suspended. So something's clicked. One of those things, if we go back to sort of April, May, and I was saying, look, the Eels are going to come good. The Eels are good. They'll be fine. It looks like this is their run. But yeah, it's absolutely working out. It feels like start of the year. They made the grand final last year, and there's a lot of expectation, a lot of they were under the spotlight quite a lot. They lose a few games, there's a bit of pressure, but they've just mounted up these wins pretty quietly, just gone about their business.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, but people sort of take the pressure off, take the spotlight off. They've only had one bye too, so really, that's a few extra points. So they're coming good, the Eels.
And the Cowboys, who have beaten the Panthers, the Storm, and now the Rabbits in their last 3 games. I mean, this is a side, I think the Warriors should be counting their lucky stars that we played them twice already and beaten them twice. They've won 8, they've lost 8. Bizarre, isn't it? Because when you just kind of think, I keep looking down the bottom of the ladder for them, but here they are now poised. They are just a win away from actually making the top 8 themselves.
Yeah, you don't have to go back too long ago, and you're sort of looking at Todd Payton being under a bit of pressure, especially after that Tigers loss at Leichhardt Oval about a month ago. But yeah, again, there's teams like the Cowboys, the Titans, even Manly from week to week, where you just don't know what they're going to throw up. They're going to put beat the Rabbitohs by 20 odd points. But then. They'll go out and lose to the Tigers. It's just absolutely bizarre. And the game against the Panthers the other week, I actually watched it. I was on the Gold Coast covering Tim Zoo's fight, and we watched it out of the pub. And the Gold Coast can't get further away from Townsville and still be in Queensland, but the whole pub was going for the Cowboys. It's one of those ones where if you're from Queensland, you just go for the Queensland team. And that one went to extra time, and it was a fantastic game. So, the Cowboys. I don't know. I still don't trust them. I don't know whether they consistently can keep this up until the finals, but they're certainly making it interesting.
Lord, I love looking at that. I'm just looking at the points table, man. I get all gooey when I look. We're allowed to enjoy this, aren't we, bro? Come on.
Oh, it's the best season. It's the best season I can remember. 6 points between the first place Panthers and the 12th place Roosters. And that's just incredible. And look, I'm almost at the point where I'm writing the Roosters off. They've been trash. They were not great again in losing to the Raiders. But I mean, yeah, a win and a bye and that could be back into the top 8. It's so good.
That Roosters side, I look at they've got the best prop in the competition, Lindsay Collins. They've got Big Jared coming back. But I kind of look at their fortunes and think, how much of it actually, and whether it's just subliminal, whether it's just subconscious, but it rests on Tedesco, if he's not playing well, and then I look at them and I think, well, all this stuff about Joseph Suaalii, I mean, what is this team, mate? I mean, are they a team of frauds? Are they a team of fakes? Or are they a team that's really unlucky at the moment?
Yeah, really hard to tell. I think when Tedesco's not doing well, they struggle, and I think he's. I don't know. It was a long season for him last year. We're talking, NRL, and then he was, he's captaining New South Wales, and then he goes to the World Cup. Maybe he's just. He honestly just looks like a guy that needs a proper holiday, like get away from footy for a decent amount of time. Don't play any end-of-year football. There's all the pressure and the stress of Origin as well. Still, it feels like it's weighing heavy on his shoulders. But the team is good enough. Like, you have incredibly good players in that Roosters outfit that they should be doing much better than 12th on the table. But for whatever reason, they just can't put it together. Look, they have been hit by injuries at various points over the year.
Who hasn't? Come on, who hasn't?
Yeah, that's true. They should be able to cover it. They've got
Flash bloody Eastern Suburbs, Bondi Junction, load of bollocks. No one's buying that. Go out and buy another 5 players. Moneybags, Roosters, hey?
Salary cap sombrero.
Yeah, salary cap sombrero. Go on. Hey, mate, tell you as well before we leave, the sold-out signs went up at Mount Smart on Sunday, okay, for the Rabbits game. That is a week in advance. I'm not sure. Now, I don't want to make. I'm not ragging or bagging or anything. That sold out quicker than I think the All Blacks versus Springbok test at Mount Smart did. I mean, just say that out loud. The Warriors are selling out a week in advance, mate.
That's incredible. I don't even know when was the last time Mount Smart was sold out at all. Maybe the return game last year.
Yeah, but I think it was the first home game after COVID, and then I think it went back to that Roosters playoff game. It must have been 4 or 5 seasons ago. Those were the last. I think that was that game. Then the home game finally after COVID coming home, that was a sellout. Yeah, but this year the whole lot, every single game, and including Napier.
That's incredible. A week out, and it's going to be a great game too. The Rabbitohs coming off a loss, and we're starting to get the speed wobbles there. But it's awesome just to see the Warriors fans, rugby league fans back in New Zealand having something to get up about, to get excited about, and I live in Sydney, mate, and the Sydney sort of sporting market is so fickle. Like you could have your Roosters could be top of the table and they'll only get about 10,000 people down at the stadium on a Saturday night. So to turn that fandom into tickets sold this far in advance, it's just incredible and really, really awesome to see.